How long are we not going to allow ourselves to rest? I'm really starting to understand what really resting actually is. And I don't necessarily mean that in a physical sense, but I also mean that in a mental and spiritual sense as well. I think that just between everything that's going on in the world today, everything in our lives, it could almost be really stressful. But I think a lot of that stress, a lot of the struggle that we come into and not being able to rest is something that we add to ourselves. And I understand that the external world can add a lot of stress and a lot of incapability to rest, mostly physically and also mentally as well. But it's something I think that we should be giving ourselves. I think between social media and everything, trying to convince people that they're behind and that they should develop like the grind set and, work 24/7 without ever sleeping. Or even just social media by itself being a place that people think is rest when in reality they're just exercising their minds to like the point of exhaustion. I'm just really starting to understand that we should allow ourselves to rest. And I don't necessarily just mean rest in the terms of sleep, even though I think it's very important to get a lot of sleep. I think once you finally start getting a lot of sleep, then like the way that you see the world completely changes. But I also mean that in a mental and spiritual sense. I mean that sometimes I think we should just give ourselves a break. And I mean a break from all the mental burdens that we put on ourselves, all the things that we think that we have to do when in reality we don't. Sometimes I think it's perfectly okay to take a break from people, even if, not to say that like you don't want to be around them anymore, but in a sense that you just need a break, you need to relax a bit. And I also mean that in the same sense when a lot of stressful situations come up, or almost even in the sense that we believe that we have to be a certain way for a certain group of people or certain situations around us. I think it's perfectly okay to take a break sometimes. Just allow yourself to rest and then almost get back into the groove. But I don't necessarily mean to get back into the groove as if the positions that you're in is something that you're almost forced into. But I really just mean that in a sense of relaxing. I think in everything that we do, it's very possible to be relaxed when you're doing it. And a lot of it just depends on the person that you are. And I think that in certain times, we put ourselves in situations that we don't allow ourselves to rest. So then I really think it's important that we almost take the opportunity to relax and take the opportunity to rest for ourselves. And in a spiritual sense, I really mean it in the sense of desire. Because I think that as long as we do want, even if it's anything, then we won't truly be able to rest. And like I said, I don't mean that in a physical or mental sense. I really mean that in a spiritual sense. Because I think that desire is the opposite of gratitude. And I think that true rest is being grateful for everything that you have. I think that true rest is recognizing how much higher you can climb, but while still being completely satisfied with where you have climbed. So I think it's important that we almost give ourselves a break from desire. And we give ourselves rest from desire. We put ourselves in, at least in the mental and spiritual position of already having everything that we want, already having everything that we desire, and not necessarily waiting for the physical world to conform to that, but just being grateful for having that thing already. I'm really just starting to understand how powerful it is to almost, pray for what you want, but then existing in a sense of gratitude, knowing that it's already been done. And not just necessarily knowing that it's already been done, but feeling that it's already been done. And I'm just starting to understand to such a deep extent how powerful that can really be in terms of just relaxing. Because I think that once you don't want anything, then you're just existing. And like I said, I don't necessarily mean that in the sense that we shouldn't want anything as a whole, but I mean that in the sense of being grateful. I think it's important that we're grateful for everything that we have and almost that we focus more on that gratitude for things that we have and even things that we do not yet have rather than focusing on the lack of things that we do not have. And in doing so, we're almost just allowing our spirits to have a rest, or we're allowing our spirits to sleep almost. And then we're just allowing ourselves to rejuvenate for the rest of our lives. I have a Bible verse that goes pretty well with the topic of this video. It's taken from Psalms 4, verse 8. And it says, In peace, hold on. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. So it's really just to show that, Jesus already came and died on the cross for us, so we've already been saved. So it's really just resting in that and almost finding peace and gratitude just in that, in the sense that we've already been saved. Everything in our lives happens for a purpose. So it's really just trusting the Lord and having faith that everything in the external world, which we ultimately can't control, will end up working out. and almost relaxing and not having the anxiety that we normally do about these things. So, I hope you took something from this video. Thank you for watching.